Cybersecurity Principal Engineer for NMFTA, is joining us this morning. Ben, it's great to have you. As always, welcome aboard, my friend.
Good morning. Happy to be back.
Oh, it's great to have you back, Ben. Every time you come on, there is always something new and very cool and very important coming up from you guys at NMFTA when it comes to cybersecurity. And this coming Thursday, you and Joe and Artie, Joe Orr and Artie Crawford, Artie was with us on the program too, of course, as you know, are going to be together for a new would you call this I guess it's a webinar, but you guys have a kind of a different title for it.
So this week we're going to, or I should say this month, we do our monthly webinars, and this month we decided to have more of a panel discussion about a recent product that we released. So it'll be a little bit different format.
Yeah, called Panel Insights, NMFTA Cargo Crime Prevention Framework. And it's a great document. I'm looking at it right now, of course. Anybody can download that by going to nmfta.org. It's this coming Thursday, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So this will be sort of like, if you missed everything until now, this is sort of like, well, this is all of it all together at once, I would imagine.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really interesting conversation. I'm really looking forward to this. It's this particular document really takes a lot of the cybersecurity control concepts and the different security that you can implement in an organization, and draws a direct line between doing the cybersecurity best practices and business impact in reducing cargo fraud and theft in your organization. And so it really drives home the relevance of cybersecurity in transportation, specifically in addressing the rampant cargo crime that's out there right now.
Do we I'll use an old word, compartmentalize, should companies compartmentalize what they do in terms of cyber crime? Because loose lips sink ships, and if somebody knows too much, even without meaning to, I don't mean in a criminal sense, but I mean in an accidental sense, where if you know too much, you might say something. Am I making sense here? In other words, are there fences around the different departments in a company?
Well, I think there's obviously a little bit is going to depend on the size and the scale of the company, the operating structure. But I think that you're hitting an important point that, just because there's information available, it doesn't mean everyone necessarily needs all of the information.
Yeah.
Right? And so it kind of draws that back to a least privilege concept, right? So having access to everything someone needs to do their job function, but not necessarily having open doors everywhere to all of the information that they may want to discover. So I do think that's important. You need to be careful not to over compartmentalize or silo your organizations so that you introduce unnecessary friction. But you do want to keep in mind how broadly you share data or access to systems within your organization, and make sure it's relevant to the job function that your team is trying to complete.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to engage what they call resistance strategy, where no one knows everything, and that way you don't get infiltrated. Wow. I mean, that's a bit much, but I kind of dig where you're coming from. You need to make sure that people are on a need-to-know basis, and those that aren't understand part of this is for your protection and part of this is for your productivity. You can't focus on everything, so let's kind of focus on what you do, and we'll focus on the rest of the stuff. Is that fair, Ben?
Yeah, I think that's good, and it's also having access to data or having access to a system shouldn't necessarily mean having permissions to alter that data or alter settings in a system, right? So there's the difference in just being able to read something and being able to modify, and that's the kind of second level consideration.
God bless you.
Looking at least privilege.
God bless you, Ben. I have to tell you, the number of times I send out press releases and I'm like, you do not have a right. You are not an editor. Please stop commenting on this press release. I totally understand. It's the same. It's the same theory.
Well, and what we're talking about here, and what you're saying, and what I'm asking, what Jim is contributing, is flies in the face of the big banner word over everything now: transparency. We need full transparency, full access. But you can't have that here. But at the same time, you need to be transparent about the fact that you're not being transparent.
It is a bit of a fine line. You have to really put some thought into how do you achieve transparency without creating unnecessary vulnerability, right? And then I don't think the two are mutually exclusive, but I do think that it requires some careful planning and some careful thought around how to structure your team, structure your organization, and structure your security controls in a way that you're not trying to hide information from people, but you're protecting both the organization from compromise, and you're also reducing each individual's ability to unintentionally introduce harm to the organization if they fall victim to social engineering. So it's a balancing act, like many things in security, but I do think you can achieve both transparency and some resilience.
Well, in the spirit of transparency, I'll have to tell you, everybody, we're out of time.
Ben, it goes by so fast, man.
It does.
Thank you so much for being here, as always.
Thursday,
absolutely,
is the panel Insights NMFTA Cargo Crime Prevention Framework. This coming Thursday, 1:00 Eastern Time, nmfta.org. Ben Wilkens, say hi to Joe and Artie for us.
Will do, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on again.
Thank you. One of the best beards in the business.
Oh,
Ben Wilkens is on the scene, man.